Welcome to Be Offended with Joe and Tim.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Tim.
You know, I say this often, but it's really fun that you do the introduction because that means I get to introduce the first topic. And I like to give a behind the scenes sometimes. And I just want to point out that Mr. Prepper Man with 2,200 guns, and he's got his own respirator, ventilator that he wears to the supermarket, and he's got a grenade launcher, and he's got MREs. His water was too cold. He had to start we were going to start the podcast. He's like, I got to get my water. And then he comes back. He's like, oh man, I messed up. And I was like, oh, what? Did he spill it all over the podcasting equipment? No. My water's too cold. Little boy, does it hurt your teeth, little boy?
No, it's because if you're going to talk for an hour, and you just splash cold water on your fucking throat, it's impossible to talk afterwards. So I had to.
I guess it's going to be the Tim hour. Good news, fans.
Great.
It's going to be a lot of Tim. Ranting starts now.
Yeah, speaking of going solo,
you're going to plug your own podcast right now?
No, I'm not going to plug it.
I'm
not going to plug it. I'm just saying it's a daunting task, and I'm slowly losing my mind doing this other show. So,
you know, if nothing else, you getting your own solo podcast will make you appreciate me. You know, it's sometimes sometimes bands break up and they get back together and they realize that they needed each other, you know?
Well, okay. So we've talked about it maybe once or twice before on another show. But you went solo at one point in time.
Oh.
You tried to do the show without me when I like quit at some point in time. And
so back in 2005 or 2006, we were podcasting.
Yeah.
And I had all the equipment. I had all the source, you know, the software and everything. Yep. And then we used to. But first we did it at Joe's place and he would do all the editing and everything. And then slowly I learned how to do it.
Slowly got fed up.
So then I took over all that. And then eventually he decided he didn't want to do it at all. So I was like, okay, well, I have the software. I have the equipment. I know how to do the editing. Myself. I know how to put the intro. So do it myself. And I'll just have like different co-hosts in with me.
Oh, God.
And... it
was so bad. I have the recording.
Oh, do you really? Do you still have it, actually?
Yeah, it is so bad.
Is that something we can do a special? Because we're going to do the special for the for our
songs. Yeah, I think we should just do a nostalgia hour, and we should just play all the old.
We could probably do it separately.
Yeah,
because I think I had my high school girlfriend or my college girlfriend on the. My co-host.
It wasn't.
So I think we could probably, because I wanted to get my wife on the show for the music when we read our high school. So me and Joe. Great. It's the 20th anniversary of our band, the Franklin Street Band. And so in the summer of 2000, we did a tour of the local Starbucks, and we played at one of our friends on his garage.
Yeah, John the Baby Maker. We played on.
Yeah, so we want to famous earlier this season or in past season, John the Baby Maker. So so we want to. First of all, we want to have a reunion, which is fine because we can't have more than 10 people right now under all the social distancing laws, but we've never had that many followers anyway.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a tour, but I have the lyrics book and we're looking for the recording. So at the very least, we're going to read our lyrics and we're going to have my wife on. I think we're going to have John the Baby Maker on.
Oh, God.
And I don't know who else, but we're going to have a few people on, basically. We're going to have to figure out logistically how to record and merge 5 tracks at once, but we're going to read our what we believe to have been deep, meaningful song lyrics when we were 16 years old on the 20th anniversary of it. And do you have your lyrics? Because I have some. I have lyrics.
What's going to be sad is some of the biggest like rock bands that came out of that same era. They like their first albums were like made or cut when they were like 18. So the songs were written when they were 16. So like we can play like Nirvana,
Chair, right? They were like 14 or something when Anna's song, the guy was like 14 and that's really funny.
No doubt when they started recording, Gwen was like 17. So yeah, we're
not
at that level.
Not only are we embarrassing, like looking back 20 years. So as 16-year-olds, we were even bad songwriters because like our peers were actually like
our
making
peers
it famous.
Were
well, Hanson was what,
better.
13? One of the Hanson boys?
I don't know. One of
like
the girls was 11, cute in that band. That's all I remember.
That old gag.
Yeah, that's all I remember. So I've got topics, man. I've got all kinds of stuff. I don't even know where to begin. I'm looking at a giant list here. Actually, I know where I'm going to begin.
Okay, you can begin.
We have to talk about something very important here. Something that's near and dear to my heart. How are we going to check out pretty girls anymore? Because they're going to be covered in a mask. There's no way.
Believe it or not, my wife actually said the same thing the other day, and I kind of gave her a double take. She's like, "How are you going to meet cute people at the store anymore? Like, you're not going to be able to give them a little smile." I just looked at her like, "You're what?" I assume this is a hypothetical question, right? That you're not just going out and flirting with all the.
Oh man. Well, maybe she's trying to hint that's the threesome special that we have to have.
The threesome, the special that we have to have. I have to record it.
I thought that we talked about that on another episode. We're going to come back when you had your
wanted
threesome.
to tell your threesome stories, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so I need to get a threesome.
You have to have a threesome story. And then it'll be
for all our listeners who this is. If you've heard any show besides this one, every Joe sex story is really just a bragging story.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get to the threesome story.
Yeah, so he just likes to brag about how much sex he used to have. So
what are we going to do?
Younger. So everybody's bagged. This is sad because you're not going to have sex again because
I'm never going to have sex again because I'm not going to be able to identify the ugly girl. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Well, I mean, the Muslims in the Middle East, in Iran,
Muslims,
and in Saudi Arabia have been wearing those. They've been having, they're wearing those
burqas, or whatever they're called,
hijabs or something. I think the burqa and the hijab are two different things.
I don't know.
But yeah, so basically you only see their eyes, and I know they take a lot of steps of like doing their eye makeup. And
this is like those Instagram filters that fucking girls put on their face. Now it's just permanent. Now there's always a mask there.
But maybe that's what you get used to then, because I mean, people still hook up and get married in the countries where they have to wear those.
I'm an American.
So
cue
maybe
the music. It's America, damn it.
Chin. I need dimples. I need chin. I need to see if your teeth are straight. I need to see if you got those big dick sucking lips.
I need a good squared off jaw.
You see the little.
No. This is. I'm sitting.
You got to
be
able to see if they have an Adam's apple.
Yeah, gotta identify the apple. Like, I have to make sure that this is of certain, level of quality here. And I'm being cock-blocked by the government. This is horrible. I'm outraged.
You are. I think you're.
I know I'm not the only motherfucker who's thinking about this.
No,
I know there are many
and,
people who are thinking about this.
And
how
I'm
are you going to check out anybody?
I'm taking a step further, Joe, because we are men of a certain age.
We are men of a certain age.
And we know women of a certain age. And there are people right now.
Depending on who you're talking to, there's a difference in
our
age.
Peers, not the girls you're talking to. Our peers, our peers, people we went to school with, people we went to college with or something. So you're talking about short term, how you going to give a little smile, see if a girl's home, take her, but you actually don't have any intention of starting a family.
No, I don't.
Women and men right now who, because of these masks and because of this lockdown, will never be able to start a family because they're of this age. So they're 35, 36, 37. And it's spring right now. People want to go out and meet each other. They want to, and they can't.
They can't.
And
they can't do the nasty.
People will not be having children and not be getting married because of this.
Is a good thing.
So
I'm happy about that.
Right? It's a good thing.
Yeah. And
we've always talked about how we needed to bring the population down.
Yeah. This is fine.
I didn't think they would cancel the Rage Against the Machines concert though.
cancel everything.
So I'm a little bit.
Christmas is canceled. Little Timmy needs to learn that Christmas is canceled.
I'm a little bit. I didn't think I'd have to sacrifice. You know, when people talk about culling the herd, they never think they're going to be among the culled, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, I'm not among the culled, and that's fine. No one I know is among the culled, but you know, like I enjoy watching a good Mets game. I was looking forward to seeing Rangers get some machine this summer, and these are things that I tried to go to the Total Wines the other day to get my discount hard cider, and the line was out the fucking door, like around the store. And I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to drive away because I'm not going to wait online to I'm saving $3 on a cider. I'll go from the local cider store and I'll pay a little more. Well, so I mean, I think we're giving up some, and I'm not sure not giving up. If I thought
coming out with a product.
Population control would be easier.
I'm coming out with a product.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a product. This is another literal million. This is cue the mega register.
Wow. Mega register. Echoing in my ears. I should take my headphones off when you cue the mega register. I could pop my ears out. Okay.
$1 billion idea. Billion.
Wow.
Now, we all know Tim doesn't understand math. That's not 100,000.
2,500,000. I believe is the famous
2,500, 100,000.
I'm pretty sure that was right. You had 100,000 and then you had 25 of them. 25 times 100 times 100,000. Isn't that 2,500,000?
Okay, you should stop while you're at.
I don't know. I had John the baby maker checking the math. So I don't know. Okay, so I'm putting it into my calculator. 100,000 times 25.
$1 billion idea.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
That's 2.5 million. Okay.
Here we go.
2,500,000 is 2.5 million. I'm an idiot.
Yes. So I'm glad you fact checked yourself. Or is everybody prepared? Or is everybody sitting down and ready to steal my fucking idea? I'm going to try.
Good thing we have this recorded. Was this timestamped?
Yes, we're timestamping, copywriting,
today's
everything.
Newspaper. Do I need to mail this podcast episode to me
yes.
in a metered postage?
The clear plastic face mask.
Oh,
it's
known as the plastic bag.
Yeah, no, but so it's a face mask, okay, just like all the stupid ones we have now, but it's made out of plastic, and you're like, well, how are you going to breathe? You're going to suffocate yourself. Well,
could it be a plastic bag over your face?
Exactly. Okay. Well, you have a
holes in it.
Well, okay, so you're getting there.
No,
if there's a plastic fold between the other folds, and the air can go in and out, and you have the little tab. What's it called? There's a release valve. That's a one-way valve when you exhale,
like in a snorkel.
Yeah, I mean, it's in everything. Yeah, there's one-way valves in these cheap masks. There's one-way valves. So that since you're not. Like these stupid masks that they're selling like over the counter, it's just an old person's t-shirt cut up and sewn together. Like there's literally nothing.
But they have the Miami Dolphin logo on it, Joe.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that's my point.
They could not quickly enough put out a fucking logo on something. It's like, this is a pandemic and people have these like medical supply things. Like, no, let's put a fucking Chicago Bulls logo on that right now.
You know what it is,
and sell them for $5 a pop.
It's literally whatever
for children,
material
right?
wasn't
children?
Selling. That's it was like, oh,
so
there's some kids' bed sheets.
Like Los Angeles Rams 2019 Super Bowl championship.
Yeah, so they're just cutting out the little thing. They're cutting out
instead of sending sending all the hats and T-shirts for the Super Bowl losers to Africa, they're just turning them into
face masks now. Yeah. So the masks that are being sold across the country and across the world, they have no ratings. It is literally the equivalent of just taking a handkerchief and wrapping it around your face.
You could or just taking your T-shirt and covering your mouth when someone walks past you.
Just breathe into your own
it's
tits.
Just a covering for the sake of covering.
That's it. There's literally no viral stoppage whatsoever. I don't even know why we're doing it. Apparently, everybody's just an idiot. So, because of that,
I think we're like in the Wild West or something again. It's like everyone watched Westworld.
You've got to segue. You're segueing me. It's great. I'm going to keep going though. So, if this is just
make sure you don't have a sip of that cold water. You're going to lose your voice.
My voice is going to blow out. So if you have a couple of these folds and a couple of holes, that's it. That's the same equivalent of what we already have. And it's see-through. And that way I can check out if you're hot or not. And this is the most important thing. Listen to this. I've got a plastic bag right here. I'm going to make one. I'm going to post
suicide live on our podcast right now.
It's just going to hear like,
I have a plastic bag. I was going to put it over my head. I got the duct tape. I'm going to wrap the duct tape around my neck with a plastic bag, and I'm going to show you how attractive I am. And then just hear as you thud down to the ground.
That's going to be
Joe, quick. Save your side of the podcast and upload it to the Google Drive. Quickly.
Yeah.
But there's no way in hell I'm going to go into your apartment after you die and get our podcast and stuff, because I don't want my fingerprints anywhere on your laptop at all. No way.
Hey, this brand new spanking laptop is clean as a whistle. There is
I heard
no
that,
evidence
and
on
I'm
that.
sure our listeners did too on one of the recent episodes. And in between the first and second segment, we play best of bits from last season.
Yep.
And that was the famous one when Joe's pornography machine died.
My porn drive died.
And then you found out in real time live that Joe actually didn't realize that it wasn't just like downloading his favorite videos and pictures from the internet, but it was like all of his like ex-girlfriends and anyone he ever sexted with.
You just trying to bring up bad memories.
Well, I mean, you already have the bag, and you might as well just put it over your head now. I mean, I'm just pushing you over the edge.
Speaking about doing illegal things.
Wait, so you building this right now? Is this because you are an entrepreneur?
It's gonna go up on the show. I'm gonna make something, and we'll see. If this is the way we're gonna get our own radio station, like this is how it's gonna happen. I'm gonna become a billionaire, and I'm gonna build a giant tower, and we're gonna broadcast it whether people like it or not.
But is there some sort of
law against that? Yes.
Like. Not pirate radio. I'm aware of that. Against putting like a plastic bag type thing over your mouth, because people are morons. Remember the first thing someone said was like hydrochlorics or something.
Yeah,
like could help you, and then people were like, "Oh, that kind of sounds like bleach," and then people were like poisoning themselves. So like
anybody,
if you had a mask that looked too much like a plastic bag,
they're just going to put it over their mouth.
Would people just put plastic bags over their heads?
If you're going to actually put a plastic bag over your mouth, it's not going to work. You'll take one breath and then you'll realize, oh, I'm going to suffocate. I'm not making a plastic bag to go over my mouth.
Will they realize that? People are pretty stupid,
so.
Joe. Have you been paying attention?
I don't know. I think that if you're going to go through it literally just putting a plastic bag over your face, then it's okay for you to die. It was the right thing.
I mean, the same point is putting a fucking Michael Jordan jersey over your face and going out. Isn't that the same thing? I mean, at that point, because we're in favor of culling the herd. I forget. Are you in favor of this?
I'm in favor of everybody dying. I'm like, I've got the boat. I'm fine.
As long as the guy who's driving the boat and giving the dick for you to suck.
You know
alive,
what?
Right?
There is. I'm not plugging, but I'm just hinting. There is a hint of something in one of the episodes of my new show.
What's the name? Are you ever going to give the name of your new show, or are you just going to have people have to find it?
I'm not allowed to give it out yet. This is there's got to be like a coming out party.
I'm actually going to make you buy ads on this.
I have to pay for.
I'm going to make you Venmo me like $2.50. I'm going to do a live read for your podcast.
So yeah, great. That'll go over well. Getting our audience. If you're going to do something in a mask, right? Everybody has a mask on, literally. If you're outside, you're legally bound to wear a mask, which is the dumbest fucking thing. So how do we have security cameras that are going to work anymore? What are we going to go based on? The 3 pixels that are shown of eyes and like the sneakers. I'm wondering about something. Could I make a face mask that's someone else's face and that's considered okay as covering up my face? I think I could do that. We gotta go for a break. Looking for more talk radio? You can listen to all of Season 2 of The Inappropriate Guys right now on BeOffendedRadio.com. And we're back. Boy, what a... Oh, there goes the drink.
Part two.
Part two drink. So
what a fun first half of that episode was.
That's a raunchy one.
That was the first half of the last episode of BFN Radio.
Yeah. It's in the title, people. So I was trying to get to a point that was simply everybody is masked now. So like when people are out and about and there's like all these security cams and everything, like it really negates so many things that are important right now. Just facial recognition, like all these things that we were worried about, like being tracked. Yeah, because
who's out committing crimes these days? It's like very easy to find someone committing crime. It's like,
it's going to happen again.
Who robbed from me? The one guy who left his house today.
You just see where grandma went.
you just see.
I would love to see some like
someone broke into my car. Well, let's see. Let's check the ring. 2 people walked by today.
I think that would be cool if like crime shifted and it was like the old people, because old people are fed up with how they've been treated and left to die in this situation. And they're like, no.
Well, maybe that's why crime is down so much, because it was all the old people. And now they're all stuck inside
or dead. Yeah. Okay. So maybe it was old
same
people
angle, basically.
Yeah.
But we talked about this in a prior episode. We're being tracked by our cell phone because now the government, in the name of public health and safety, has teamed up with all the cell phone companies and buying
they're coming to get data. You, man. They're just coming to get you.
So who cares about facial recognition now? Because they're just following your cell phone.
Well, I don't know
where you are.
The face is important. Face is important for all kinds of things, including sexual relations and banter about
most of the guys you have sex with, you don't face each other.
Okay. So speaking of guys,
is it okay? Just move on.
Moving on.
That's when those jokes I'm going to laugh really hard at when I listen back to this episode.
So I got a little story. I got a couple of stories, but one of them involves you. And we've never, I don't think we've ever, in 16 years of doing this show, we ever brought it up. And I was like, this is going to be interesting.
No, in the stories we're not allowed to tell, are we?
No, it's not. There's only one story we're not allowed to tell. Okay. And we actually told the story. The one story we weren't about to, anyway. So Tim and I have known each other since high school, and we've been branded as the inappropriate guys, but we were the inappropriate guys before we had made the inappropriate guys. So
before we even had our first talk boy.
Yeah, before we even did anything other than sit in a garage and play instruments with each other. That sounds really bad. Where the story's like going, it's not going to be
play
any
with
better.
Each other, and just add an instrument to the last minute. You sound guys play with instruments with each other.
Yeah. When we were sitting in your garage, all hot and sweaty, playing with each other,
with the porn that you printed out and walked down the street. That's a good. People find that in the past episodes. Joe used to print out his favorite porn.
I gotta make that a best of.
Then he'd bring it down to me like a trading card.
So Tim and I have done some stupid things, and
yes.
Yeah. So we told a couple of stories of the dumb things that we had done, and here's another one.
Ooh.
So Tim and I had this. I guess we both had $1 million idea before we invented the $1 million idea.
Back when $1 million meant something.
Yeah, when $1 million was like gonna lift you up in life. We both liked cheerleaders because they were hot.
Oh God, no, I know the story.
And
oh no.
You know, there was a new school year coming up, and there was some cheerleader tryouts.
Oh no.
And both Tim and I thought it was a bright idea to try out to be the male cheerleaders.
not exactly try out for the male cheerleaders. I believe it was that the two girls who we thought were good looking were cheerleaders, and they were going and they needed like assistance or something preparing.
Yeah.
So we said that we would go down and help them do other lifts, so we had an excuse to touch them.
Yeah. Well, it's
oh god, I'm like cringing right now, Joe.
Yes. So let's roll back in our minds.
It only happened one. It only. I think
it was like one day.
25 minutes, maybe. I'm trying to think how long it took for them to be like totally grossed out by us. that they were just like, no, you know what? We'll just like, but you're up in the air. No, just leave. I'll just fall. Like how quickly they realized that like
I literally don't remember.
Them.
I don't remember anything.
We went to the beach.
I remember waiting.
I remember them on the beach.
There. Yes.
Like a couple of blocks. I think someone must have lived in the neighborhood. So we met like, you know, on the beach, and we were in the back of the beach, and we were practicing doing like the lifts and the catching. And that's like our job was to like throw them up and catch them.
Yep.
Yes. And then after like a short amount of time, they were like, oh no, yeah, no, that's what it was. They needed male cheerleaders. And they were like, you guys should just be the male cheerleaders. And we were like, oh, well,
here's the thing.
Come down to the beach. It wasn't actually, we didn't actually show up to like the tryouts.
Well, I like at that time I was hanging out with a couple of the cheerleaders. So they planted the seed in my brain of, you know, this harebrained scheme, and I remember clearly being like, this is a good idea. This is the way to get a bunch of chicks. You know, like I was really thinking about this, and by the time that you
talked me into it then.
I don't think I talked you into it. I think this was something.
I was hoping you did.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I was hoping I went reluctantly.
No, that would have been hilarious. But no, I don't remember who started it. I don't remember whose
harebrained idea this was.
Yeah, but I'm fairly confident it was me. It had to have been me, because I was friends with the captain of the cheerleading squad, who later I fucked, and
wow.
I had to do the brag, the threesome story. It's coming.
Wow.
So we went to try out for cheerleading. This is one of those stories that you hear like in a movie, like in Stand By Me or something, where like, you know, they talk like about their childhood. Yeah, it's just like one of those iconic, it's more
like the Stifler story or something.
Yeah, it's one of those iconic movie, like 90s movie stories. We actually
it was definitely a 90s move. Yeah, it was definitely like a 90s move that we were somehow realize. Like, yeah,
we're like, how are we going to get chicks? And then people were going to make fun of us.
I know, man. We can just join the cheerleader team and like
we'll just touch their
showers, ladies.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the plan ever went past that. I think that there was just
because the plan was immediately discovered and fucking
we were foiled
out like a oh my god, yeah, the plan. What was the plan? Yeah,
there was no.
They rubbed against like my boner or something as I was trying to pick them up, and they were like, okay, I don't think these people are here for the cheering. I don't think they're here to support the team. I think there's an ulterior motive here.
Yeah, I don't know like. What would have happened if they were like, hey, you know what, this is great, you guys need to be like, would we have? I think we would have. I think we would have. I think if
that was actually, and not only would I have not done that, that was the same year that our football team only had like 19 players.
Yeah,
and they asked me to join. So they took like great. All like they literally like went to like, cause I was a really good swimmer. So they went to like the good swimmers, like the good lacrosse players, anyone who didn't have a season in the fall when football was, and they went like asked everybody if they would join the football team.
Oh, yeah. God.
So not only was I not going to be a cheerleader, I was definitely not going to be on the football team.
Well, I'm just thinking about like, because
how dumb we were.
Yeah. It was just such a like movie trope of a thing. Like dudes, like
I just remember like how quickly like,
oh my God,
our creepiness was revealed. And then like how like
I don't remember
quickly
that.
They wanted to it was one of the reason I probably forgot we haven't told the story because it was so
embarrassing.
So yeah, like we met them and they showed up and they were like into it and we were like clearly not there for the cheering and they were like, these people are fucking perverts.
What was it? ATHF?
Right now.
It was ATHF, right? It was
friends,
her and her friend. Okay,
and her blonde friend.
Yeah. Okay, so I it was definitely worth it for me. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, I think this is one of those childhood memories that
God.
Which is why when when someone's trying to go after like somebody for what they did 20 or 25 years ago or whatever it was,
it's so dumb.
Like
you were a kid. Everybody was a kid being stupid.
People were idiots. Like, of course, like if you knew now what you
knew then, yeah.
Like there's obviously like
I don't even know what I'm doing now.
Yeah, if you were a fully functional adult with experience and knowledge and like knew how to get a girl, like you would never have done the things to try and get girls when you were younger. Like that Brett Kavanaugh thing, like that 100% happened. So Brett Kavanaugh is a drunk.
Okay.
And apparently like he was drinking and like some girl, like he like tackled her onto the bed or something. And then like, so 45 years later, she was like, this was a sexual assault and I thought he was going to rape me. No, he was a Catholic schoolboy. This was,
oh boy. This is
slippery slope that's the whole thing. So dude, this was literally, this was like a congressional hearing.
I don't
okay, so
get
this
into
was
anything.
Very old news. The point is, it 100% happened because this guy is still a drunk, in my opinion, and he said he loved beer under oath. So I think I can say he's a drunk without him suing me for defamation. But it 100% happened.
I should become an alcoholic.
He was a Catholic school, all boys, and he had the girl around. And if you think back, like it wasn't like. This is probably what he did. Like, if you think of all the creepy things people used to do, like nobody was raping.
Everybody in high school was doing something stupid.
People were just awkward. Yeah. And they just didn't know what to do. And they just it's like, and it was very much like subjective. And like this, what someone thought was a move, someone else thought was creepy. And what someone thought was charming, someone else thought was disgusting, So like,
that's
that whole thing.
Defending would-be rapists.
Well, you need intent, Joe. Would be.
Well, I'm just saying. If you're a
would-be rapist, email us at angryhatemail@gmail.com. No, the point was like this guy, and the reason I thought he was not good to be a Supreme Court justice was because he couldn't say, listen, I was 17 years old, we were drinking beer, and I probably
made
fell
this girl on top of some girl.
I have no memory of it.
Yeah.
I have no memory of it. I was young. I was horny. I might have been drinking. And if I did anything to this girl, I apologize. But he couldn't do that.
How many girls have been uncomfortable around guys just because the guy's being a dumb guy in high school? Like, that's high school. That's literally high school. There's some learning somewhere. But
there was a girl who was sexually assaulted me at your house.
Oh, I've been sexually assaulted in my own house.
At one of the New Years,
I had a girl push me onto a wall and just start making out with me. And I was like, I had no idea that was coming.
We had a New Year's party at your house one year, and there was a girl who I ran track with, and we brought her, and she got really drunk, and then like
can we tag this hashtag me too? We could tag this hashtag me too.
No, but like, but you look back at it and it was like, I didn't do anything with her because she was drunk and she ended up getting sick. But like, she was there to get with me, and I was not down with that. Moment, and that's something that like. But we were 16 years old, or 15 years old. Like that's just what happened. Like you wouldn't go now if this girl ended up running for Supreme Court or something. I wouldn't have to come back and be like, when we were
that
15,
one night
she got drunk and tried to force herself on me.
Yeah,
it's like, what, she was horny and drunk. Like you didn't know what you were doing. Like we lived through it.
Yeah, so, I've had multiple occasions where there was a girl drunk trying to hook up with me who I did not want to hook up with. And like, it was awkward, but that was it. It was awkward. Like there wasn't like,
let me make it clear though, because I remember that 30 years ago. So I'm not saying like, and I'm a functioning person. So like, let me make it clear that like, I'm not saying that you can't be traumatized by that. I'm not saying that you can't. But what I'm saying is like, to now say this person 20 years later must be degenerate because they did something stupid when they were drunk and young. And that's what I'm saying is that you need to take,
as a kid,
need to take responsibility for what you did when you were younger. And then as society, we have to understand that someone is not the same person 20 years later. That's like both things can be true. Like I could have done something inappropriate when I was 16, and I'm 20 years later, and I would never do that again. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe how dumb I was when I was 16.
I want to take this opportunity.
Okay, to confess.
To have a congressional hearing.
It was you with Brad Kavanaugh and Squee.
So I got a little story about romancing when you're young. Because when you're young and you like somebody, you do stupid things, as we're discussing now. And
then you either block it out,
yeah,
because it's so humiliating about what an ass you were,
yeah, or you have a radio show and you talk about it on the show and turn it into a positive, like that.
Like you don't take that and think that's what life is. Like you just look back and like, oh boy,
growing up,
I was a dick. Like, oh, I was embarrassing. Oh, that was stupid.
So, I mean, I like my embarrassing stories because they show me how far I've come from where I was till now. So, unfortunately, this story isn't going to do that. but I'm just saying, in general,
this is a story that happened last week, Joe.
Yeah. No. So this was a story all about. This is a story about. I don't remember what age I was, but I think we're talking about like
33.
No. I think we're talking about an age around maybe 8 or 9. I think around there.
That's a little young to be creepy.
Well, I had like a school crush on a girl in class, and I didn't know what you could I didn't know how to say I like you to a girl. Nobody does.
No one has any idea.
Yeah. And there at that point in time there was no internet. It was just, oh, what do you do? So at the time I had my grandmother had in the attic a bunch of old costume jewelry and stuff, and I rummaged through that and found a ring, just like a costume jewelry ring, but it was like a diamond ring, but it was a fake one.
It wasn't a cock ring, was it?
No, it's a cock ring. That would be a great twist of the story. And I found this ring and I was like, I'm going to give this to the girl I like, to be like, I like you. So, but I was too shy about it. And this is what I did. I took it. This is so stupid. I took an envelope and I put the ring in the envelope, and I literally wrote on it, "For you." Okay. And before class started, before the kids all came in, we were sitting at those desks at the time. The desks had these little cubby cutouts underneath where you can store your books.
Yeah. I'm sure they took those away now because
so I have to describe it for people who don't.
In them.
Yeah, so
we went to school during an innocent
good
time
old days
where people had colored pencils in there.
So at the time you had a desk, and then right under the desk, it would be as if there was a drawer that you would pull out, but there's no drawer, there's no anything. It's just
people went to school, Joe. People know what the desk is.
No, because a lot of people in middle of the country and other countries, they didn't have these desks at all. This is actually something that's more akin to East Coast and West Coast only.
If that's you, unsubscribe and delete our podcast.
Yeah, there you go. So
we don't need people like you listening to our podcast.
No,
if you didn't have a desk
we love you.
Was
Stay
able
here
to hold your colored pencils and all your notebooks in third grade.
So anyway, so I knew where she sat in the room, and so I put that envelope there, and I had "For you" probably written in some horrible penmanship, and the ring inside, and I put it there. And then I sat I think 2 rows behind her. So I was obviously going to, see when this whole thing unveiled. So everybody comes in, I go sit in the back because I'm a delinquent, and I watch her get to her desk, and the teacher's talking and all this bullshit. And I'm like, you're sitting there anxious, okay, notice the ring, and she starts taking her books out to put them in the stupid little cubby thing. And she sees the envelope and she looks at it, and I'm like, yes, here we go. And she looks at it and she opens it up and she sees the ring inside, and then she closes it and she raises her hand and she
The transfer to another school.
The teacher comes over and she's like, I think someone lost this ring.
Oh.
And I'm sitting there and I can't say anything. And literally the teacher looks at it and she's like, oh my God, this is someone's ring. And so they took the ring and they like put it in the lost and found.
You have to go at the end of the day and claim it.
I didn't claim it. I just let it go. It's
still there right now. 27 years later.
Yeah, some teacher must have taken it like at the end of the year from unclaimed. And so I watched that ring go into her hands and out of her hands as quickly as possible. And I was like, well, that failed. And that was like one of the first failures in life, trying to tell a girl that I liked her. Yeah. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure I've mentally just
mentally blocked out most of that stuff.
Yeah, I can remember the douchiness in high school, but I tried to any elementary school or middle school memories. I think I've been able to just like suppress those.
Yeah, I mean, this I probably
look at
have
myself in the mirror.
I probably have many more of these stories, but I have to, like,
of course you do. Yeah,
meditate.
me and you were very similar growing up. I have a dozen of those that I do not want to spend the time trying to figure out.
To remember. I'll meditate and I'll try to remember more of them. But yeah, that was like one of those things, and that proves again like how like I have changed, but haven't changed. Like even back then, I was coming up
much better now.
Yeah, I'm sure, but like I was still coming up with like some kind of grand scheme of a plan and a presentation. So it was always built in. It was never not there. It was always some kind of greater plan. It wasn't something simple. It wasn't me coming up to a girl and like being like, hey, I like you. It was like, no, I'm going to hide a ring in this girl's desk. And then when she wonders who it is, I'm going to tell her. Oh God, it's so stupid.
It's interesting. It's interesting. It's really interesting that the how we all pretend we were these like fully functional,
humans, we're just idiots.
Like people, they're we know the difference, right? I mean, there are people who were scumbags and they were scumbags their entire lives, and you know the difference. And there are people who are just awkward, and I feel like those awkward people, sometimes get a bad rap, and I think that's And I'm gonna have to edit this clip in when someone takes my earlier clip out of context and just say that people were fucking.
This feels like the Tim apology.
People were awkward and people were strange, and the effect that those people had on others is real, and no one's denying the fact that this is how someone's behavior made you feel, but there's no intent. And I think that's the one thing that I would want to bring back besides Rage Against Machine, which I very much want to see, and football.
Oh, Jesus.
We need to bring back intent. Remember when intent mattered, Joe? This show is called Be Offended Radio. The intention is to make you laugh.
Context and intent are two things that are completely lost.
That are just gone. Yeah. No, it's well, if it made you feel that way, then I guess it's true.
It's all about
if you
them
went
feelings.
to the comedy club,
that's why we want you to be offended.
And somebody offended you, then I guess they need to apologize, because the fact that you were in a comedy club and they were up on stage trying to make people laugh, that's irrelevant if you feel sad.
Is that your grandma voice again? That's just your lady voice.
No, that's my HR HR person.
Ooh, Tim's got a lady voice. I've noticed that all
you've been
your
in quarantine that long that that sounds sexy to you.
No, I'm just
gonna be playing that back later with the Jergens.
I just am shocked that you never come up with any male characters. You're always doing a woman's voice lately. Just FYI.
No, I do. I thought I do when I do like my MAGA people. I always do MAGA like a male voice.
No, you don't. You just that's just your voice. I'm gonna do a compilation one day of all your lady voices.
The problem is I can't remember ever to do. None of my characters are recurring characters because I forget what voice I did from show to show.
That's what I call a one-bit wonder. That's it.
No. It's not a one-bit wonder. It's just like I have one bit that I do like 1,000 times.
Okay.
Like they're different. Like I do, yeah. One bit wonder would be if I just did the same bit over and over again, but instead I do a different bit only once.
Yeah. Either way, it's just once. It's not coming back. Well, I don't know if you have any more topics. I
have plenty of topics, but I don't know if I want to do it. Introduce new topics this late in the program.
Well, I know that here's one that's a dud topic, and I'll just release it off my list.
Just to scratch it off.
Yeah, just I scratch that shit off. So there was a how do I put it? There was an incident that happened that was caught on tape, and this is apparently before the mask, whole thing happened.
So you can see who it was.
Yeah.
This is the story about the guy who was shitting during his jogs, or
no.
Okay.
This was about IKEA.
This is another fappening.
This is IKEA.
Oh wait, I have the same story. In China?
Yes.
I have the same story.
Yep. IKEA. Yep. There was the
masturbation
young lady,
the masturbation
in
incident. Yes.
Who took it upon herself to take it upon herself. And in IKEA. Now, here's the thing. I've seen plenty videos of girls doing this in IKEA.
I'm surprised there's not more full-blown like porn. Yeah, because like that's a full apartment. I'm saying like you're like as a filmmaker, like if you're spending money on a set, you're an asshole because you might as well just go. They literally have the little apartment window. They have the little kitchenette set. And, and if you're making like a low budget movie and you're not going to an IKEA on like a Tuesday afternoon when you know that shit's going to be empty and then just filming your video inside of one of the little IKEA apartments.
Sets. Yep.
You're an idiot. They have a shower in there. I mean, they have everything. A toilet. What else do you need?
Yeah. Don't shit in the toilet.
Well, shitting is not your problem.
Yeah. Oh, true. Okay. Yeah. So she decided to. Here's the thing that caught me off guard because I've seen plenty of these videos of girls
usually
going
not
into
attractive to Asian. Usually not attracted to Asian women. So is that what caught you? Was it the boner?
No, it wasn't that.
Caught you off guard?
What caught me off guard is that she didn't have any pants on. And I'm thinking like, okay, it's one thing to like lift up your shirt or unbutton it or something, but she was like in like Tom Cruise t-shirt, like, style attire. It was just basically like a man's t-shirt. It looked like that she was in, and that was it. And I was like, whoa, where did that happen?
Do you think this is staged then or something? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know if it was staged, but something's a little weird about it that it went that far because I've seen plenty of these videos in IKEA and I've even made one of my own. And I think it's kind of hard to get away with the no pants. I think that's a little extra. I don't know. Maybe I guess that's why it made the news and the other ones haven't. It's because she wasn't wearing pants.
Well, I've seen there was people doing like the live nudity, like sometimes you'll just see like a naked woman on like 42nd Street or something.
And like really?
Yeah.
What?
Like
where have I been?
they were doing the shoot like when I was like walking to the subway.
Huh.
So like every once in a while there'd be like just like a topless woman.
It's
or like
illegal to be
like,
topless in Manhattan. So we should preface that to people who don't know.
But still, the point was like I've seen. Well, actually, when me and Harrison and our friend Bianca went to Miami, they were filming Bang Brothers on the beach with us.
With you? That would have been a story.
Yeah, they were filming the Bang Brothers.
With you, Harry and Bianca?
Well, we
was the Bang Brothers. Oh God! Well,
yeah, no, they so I mean, the point was we just kept walking. So like when they're doing like a shoot or something, and literally like I was walking down 42nd Street, and there was just like a woman who was like naked, and they were taking like a shoot or whatever, and I was just like I changed my face, I want to be in the background of it, and I kept walking. So like I don't know, I feel like maybe people don't really
care.
It's like live and let live, Yeah. So like you just see a woman in a shirt and you just kind of like, okay, whatever. Like, I'll just go about my business. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing. I think everybody has done, you know what? Being like the security guy in an IKEA watching all the cameras, you've probably seen some shit. You've probably seen a lot of shit because.
Should I link this, this video when we post this episode?
to the video.
It's pretty raunchy. I'm watching it right now.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't want to hear any noises. Because I've on multiple occasions.
So the guys are like kind of looking over their shoulders a little.
Yeah.
So there's 3 guys in the background.
Yeah.
And they're stopping and they're looking. And then, they're filming. So I'm saying, so people kind of know what's going on. They see someone filming. They don't necessarily see her vagina.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then people walk a little closer and then she kind of sits.
Yeah, she's hiding it. She's not like she's not like a flasher.
People are definitely looking, but then they're just like, okay, like I'll just keep walking.
Yeah. I mean, I would do the same thing. I'm not going to be like, oh, her, ma'am, stop. Well, an old lady would, of course. Whoever's jealous of her, that's who would cause the problem. Some bitch caused it. I guarantee you.
I don't think she's wearing pants.
That's it. That's exactly it. Because anybody else would have been fine with it. Even young girls are fine with it. Nobody cares. If you're going to have sex in the corner of IKEA, have sex in the corner of IKEA. I've done it.
I'm going to say this is a pretty hot video, actually. I'm watching it right now. I'm saying I'm going to go with this is a pretty... oh,
no.
This is a good one.
Yeah. Well, anywho, so yeah, I saw that story like among all of the stupid
spoiler alert,
topics.
She squirts at the end.
What?
Yeah. You make it to the end, I guess.
I haven't actually seen the whole video. I just saw the news report.
Well, you're missing out.
Oh, well, on that note.
You're spending too much time editing your other podcast.
I'm doing actual show work here.
This is show work too, Joe.
Yeah, okay. I forgot.
I'm doing serious show prep right now.
Yeah, this is show prep for the show after. I guess I can cross it off
I guess I can cross it off my list now.
Yeah, great. Well, we both crossed it off our list.
Yeah, that went somewhere.
Nice. Yeah. See, all right. So it wasn't such a bad topic after all. Cool. What a weird episode.
Yeah. We were like super offensive. Did I get enough apologies in? Do you think I need to do a few more?
You know what's great is because I edit the show, I would love to edit out, like, just when you're about to say an apology, just have an abrupt, like, dee, and cut out. Just.
Do I need to apologize to like IKEA workers or something for finding that video pretty interesting?
Oh, so to finish up that topic, I'm thinking that if you're like the
IKEA masturbation topic,
like if you're a dude who works as security at IKEA, you probably see more guys feeling up their girlfriends while shopping than in any other place, period. Because I know for a fact
he like never asked for a pay cut or anything.
Yeah, he's just
you're gonna be making minimum wage. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
You know, we're gonna have to cut your pay. That's fine. That's fine.
That's
I'll sit here. I'll watch my videos.
This is like a secret, like horny guy's job.
Yeah, like the IKEA security thing, and just watch.
Security guy, and it's like it's on the down low. So like when there's a position open, you know, it's like, hey, just keep it on the down low. I bet you they record their own tapes. I bet they bring in their own old VCR.
So why are you molesting in an IKEA?
Everybody does it. You haven't molested your now wife in an IKEA before?
I probably molested previous people besides her too, I'm guessing. But yeah, I'm just thinking why? Because there's so many corners.
Because IKEA is
like you go into the little setup living room and then you just need to like touch a butt real quick.
Yeah, because I've
never done that in like a Target. Or like a King Cullen.
It's the sets.
I'm like, here's the spaghetti. Like, let me touch it.
You know what it is? This is brilliant. It's because we are so used to, as a horny male, seeing these fake living room and bedroom sets in porn. It turns us on. It's the dog thing with the whistle, and all of a sudden the dog's frothing at the mouth. That's what it is.
Unless it's a white couch, then Joe gets turned off. There's a white couch and
the oil. It's oil. No baby oil on the couch.
Then Joe's flaccid as
wait a second. I didn't tell you it was a white couch.
I've seen that porn, Joe.
Yeah, so that's what that is. It's subliminal.
You think it's like conditioning or something when you see that like studio, or you see the studio apartment with like the cheap IKEA furniture and like the slightly rough sheets. It's just like you need to like molest.
Yeah,
that's funny. Like, actually, you know what I'm thinking back now, and I'm thinking about like. Yes, like any
definitely done it. Yeah.
Yes,
I've definitely done
that's
every time.
That's where you hook up. You hook up in a cheap apartment.
Yeah.
With IKEA furniture. So you see all that IKEA furniture and
it's always that.
Immediately all of a sudden it's fucking Netflix and chill night. Yep. And you just gotta like give a little like finger between the old butt crack or something as you're walking past the.
You just went in the old finger in the butt crack. So romantic. But yeah, I think that's what it is. I think we're so conditioned to like cheap IKEA furniture being in porn or in like the first hot girl's place you've ever been in, and that's automatically like a turn on. So if you're with a girl in IKEA, automatically
it's like the first, second, the 9th, the 11th. Yeah. It's like all those
everything. Yeah,
yeah. All those when people first get their first jobs and they get their own apartments. So like you're moving past like the high school years
it's
of
very
like
good
whatever got you going in high school when everyone's with their parents, and it moves you now to like those early college years of like, okay, like the first time you hooked up with a girl who moved off campus and like all of her IKEA furniture and like the IKEA off the wall art and the IKEA off the shelf carpet. And yeah, exactly. You're right. So you go into those apartments and it's the same because the IKEA hasn't updated their shit in fucking 20 years.
Yeah.
So it's the same shit.
It's the same thing, just a different name.
Right. Yeah.
So you're there with your
so I'd like to apologize to all the girls I've molested in IKEA. And I'd like to apologize. Hashtag me too. Hashtag believe women. See, but there's just no nuance. You know what? I'm gonna stand by the nuance. I'll
You'll allow it.
It's just there's nuance, and it's something could happen, and two people can see it from two different angles. And I think that's something people miss, is that like the one act can be seen by the recipient.
I don't know. In IKEA, you can see it from two different angles.
And the actee. The actor and the actee. Because you add a T to it, then we know the person receiving the act.
Oh my God. Well, this has been a very interesting episode. I actually like it a lot, but
yeah,
we've definitely been offensive. We've lived up to our. It's so funny. Yesterday or the day before, I was thinking, we haven't really done that much offensive stuff lately. Well, now you've heard it.
The whole pandemic. It's really. I feel like it's really been taking down the offensiveness. It's just like when people are dying, everyone's cooped up. I got like a baby at home. It's like it's just very hard to really think of that like. Like just an angle of like, this is really something people need to talk about. And I think that's really that's actually the crazy thing. Like Be Offended Radio, like we can never play season 1. Season 1.
Yeah, season 1's really bad, guys.
Play season 1. But when we did season 1 in 2006, we were just run of the mill. Like that's what people were talking about. Yeah. So like Be Offended Radio in 2020 is actually just saying things that
everybody
that people
wants to
don't
say.
Necessarily stay in polite company, and that's what's actually crazy, is that nothing's actually offensive. It's just like, oh,
this is stuff that everybody's thinking. Everybody's thinking
opinion.
This. Yeah. I'm not saying the N-word. You're just hearing the N-word in your brain right now.
Now you have to apologize.
I never apologize for freedom of speech. That's where I stand. Play.
You just took all the heat off of me. Thank you. Okay, let's end the show.
Play the Eagles. Not the Eagles.
There we go.
Play the
sound of jail bars closing behind you. Joe gets dragged off to prison for thinking the N-word.
Yeah, it's oh God, what's that double dun from the I'm
Law and Order.
There you go, Law and Order. Of course, I knew you would know it.
Copyright. Yeah, I actually have some pretty good PC topics for our next show. So
okay, good.
Yeah, we can continue the theme. We're moving away from COVID-19.
Yeah, actually, you know what? To be truthful, I think I'm out of all my COVID topics on the entire list, and it's a big list. So yeah. We're on to some really weird stories coming up.
Yeah, we're going to do a lot more anti-PC stories. We're going to do a lot more stories about us humiliating ourselves as children.
Oh, God.
I teased coming on a past show, and I will bring it up soon. My
Please finish that sentence. Okay.
My trip to Thailand.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
oh, God.
We got some stuff coming up. So
all right.
We'll see you real soon. Thanks for listening.
Peace.